Welcome, everyone. It's episode 29, season 2 here of the Main Stand podcast. We're back doing a family episode this week, just me and Pat. Mitch is out this week. He'll be back next week. Pat, how's it going, buddy?
Dude, it's good. It's going really, really well. I got some fun news to share with the pod here. Share with everybody. We can get right into that. We'll start there. Little catch up, little round table. So, as many of you know, been a City fan a long time. Never been able to go to a game. Um, I'm no longer gonna just be one of those plastic fans that sits across the pond and claims to love the club. I have booked my ticket to England. I'll be at the Etihad on May 6th for City Leeds. Um, Super excited to officially be able to say that I'm going to the Etihad Stadium and I'm going to get to see my guys play. Hopefully, if we're still in a title race, so the game really will matter. Um, And I'm also gonna get to see Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie and Brendan Aronson live. So gonna get to see the American guys, gonna get to see Holland and in person. Hopefully he scores a hat trick while I'm there. Yeah, I'm super excited and jazzed to be able to bring you guys some content. I've got a couple of stadium tours planned for while I'm over there. The main stand is going global, and I couldn't be more excited to be able to say that here and also have these content ideas flowing for the future.
For sure. For me, this is like a main topic of the podcast. I think everyone, is going to be so interested in this journey, especially when you're going over there. What stadium tours do you think you have in mind right now?
I'm gonna do Craven Cottage for sure.
Yep.
So I'm staying in London, just for context there. My one of my best friends, she got a job over there. She got her master's degree in England, and then was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna stay." So she got a job over there after she finished up an internship, and so I'm staying in London with her and a couple of her, or not a couple of all of her roommates. Um, and I'm going to do Craven Cottage. I think I want to see the Emirates
Yep.
while I'm there, and if I can fit 3 into 8 days, I'd like to see Selhurst Park too.
Yeah, it's a great
I
one.
like those smaller London stadiums. Fuck Stamford Bridge, Sorry.
I did the
And
I did the Tottenham one when I was over there, and yeah, I gotta say, I know it's a new stadium and might not have the character of others, but it's a masterpiece of stadium building.
I'm a hater. I'd get angry walking in there.
I
That
love they
stadium
have like the self-filling beer things that they fill from the bottom, and those are like right when those drop. That was just so fascinating.
Nope, sorry, stadiums hurt me too much. I don't want to step foot in there. But the Emirates is cool. Arsenal is a team that is they're doing well right now, and B, they were one of the teams that I had my eyes on when I like first started getting into the sport. I watched a lot of Arsenal and a lot of City, and a lot of Barca when I first started really watching soccer. So I'd like to pop my head into the Emirates, take a good look around the stadium. That's not gonna be bringing a Premier
Sure.
League home this year, but we'll definitely go take a look at Kevin De Bruyne's training ground while
Yeah.
I'm over in England.
That's going to be such a fun trip for you, man. Going and seeing your team play live, and this is your first time seeing City at all, not even like in a preseason game, too, correct?
Yeah, I've never seen City before. It's going to be the first chance for me.
Yeah, so it's going to be just like a magical experience, and going over there and really getting over like with the fans. It is just a different experience. I think you're going to fit right in.
I can't wait. I'm
And
so excited.
it's a thing you have to check off your list of like becoming a Premier League fan. Getting over there and going to a game is the kind of like the pinnacle of that.
Mm,
And you're gonna do it, and it's gonna be right at the end of the season, meaningful game.
can't
Um,
wait.
yeah, and the content, I think, like Pat alluded to, it's gonna be electric. I think you got to get in as many food and drink reviews as you can over there.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. I might even take one for the team and eat a real English breakfast so I can have eaten it and still hate on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a must. Definitely one I did. I think you also you gotta find one of those street meat places outside of the ground. Go to that before the game. Are you sitting in the main road stand?
I'm pretty sure my tickets are in the. I'm in the long side, not the short side. I'm in
Okay.
the long side, and I'm in the lower long side, and I think it's the Colin Bell stand, if I'm not mistaken. I could be way off here. Let me real time pull up an Etihad map here.
It would be great for content to get a photo of you or a sticker on anything that says the main road stand.
I'm in the Colin Bell stand. Yeah, I'm gonna be in the Colin Bell stand. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. That's gonna be a fun
Uh,
trip for you. Fun. It's gonna be a fun little bit of content for the boys too. I think the
I'm
vlogs
jazzed.
are pretty interesting when we have time to do them. So
I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to do all that for the boys, and more importantly, I'm excited to do it for me.
yeah,
I can't wait.
exactly.
It's I'm leaving in May. I'm doing 8 days in England. Outside of football though, I do plan on going to Stonehenge because I just want to see that.
I did that as well. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop on a train and go take a look at Stonehenge.
It's not bad from London. Probably an hour train ride or so.
It's more than an hour. I've looked at all this stuff.
Is it like two?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, give or take. Let's dive right into the EPL. How about we, Pat?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think the one thing. I mean, we got to talk about Liverpool United first.
Dude, you guys gave me a great day. That I was thrilled watching that game. I just I didn't expect anything from it. I thought you were gonna lose, man. I thought Man United were just in good form. Like they're playing well. I was like, yeah, Liverpool are looking shaky. I'm not really convinced by these guys right now. Even if they're at home, I didn't know if Anfield just had enough juice. He just got beat 2-5 by Madrid. I was like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I don't know if they got it. And then you go out and you put 7 by my least favorite team in the league. It was
Seven,
Oh
seven.
my God, it was awesome, dude. I was enjoying myself, and I'm not even a Liverpool fan. It was just fun to watch.
I didn't know if we were gonna win either, man. I mean, they were coming off the back of a cup win, which you think anytime a team wins a cup, that's gonna like spur you on. They're in every competition still. I mean, I don't know where the motivation dropped off for them, and especially just the form Rashford's on, going up against Trent. For some reason, they decided to play Bruno down the left and Rashford in the middle, which I think was a total misstep by Ten Hag in this game where I feel like his players let him down. I thought that was just complete stupidity with the defensive form Trent's had this season and the struggles he's had with Rashford in the past, especially. But yeah, it was just complete annihilation by Liverpool. I mean, the first half was close, I think. The goal did come against the run of play for Liverpool. United had their chances, but they came out in the second half and just looked asleep.
Flat. They looked like you get a lot of people that are like they come out like the saying is like come out flat-footed or they come out like a step behind. Like Man United came out several
Yeah.
steps behind, 100 meters behind Liverpool. So they blew them out of the water in the second half. United didn't ever look threatening in the second half. They
No.
looked like they were in six and sevens at the back. Their midfield was just getting split through every single counter. Every time Salah got the ball, I was afraid for Lissandro Martinez. They just and you can have bad games. I still think Lissandro has been one of the best players or best defenders in the league this year. Um, that was shambolic from United's defense. I think Luke Shaw put on arguably the worst performance from a player I've seen all season. Luke Shaw was
Yeah, Luke Shaw was
fucking
bad.
terrible, man. And hats off to Liverpool too. I mean, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Darwin Nunez played a really good game. I'm a I'm a bona fide hater of the Uruguayan Andy Carroll, but he was great on the night against Man United. Salah showed up pretty well too. Salah looks like he's finally finding his feet a little bit. Brilliant finish from Gakpo for the first goal too. That was when they scored that goal. I was like, holy shit, that was great. That was a
Yeah, the
great
second
goal.
goal was a nice finish too. The little dink over De Gea.
Yeah,
Uh,
Gakpo looks like he's finding his feet for you guys.
yeah.
I'm interested to see if he can carry the form through the remainder of the season and keep scoring, maybe a goal every other game or something like that. Just keep in the goals for the remainder of the season. I think that'll help him a lot. You have it in the notes too, so I'll let you talk about it. But
Yeah,
I do
sure.
just want to tip my cap to. I'm not actually taking my hat off. I have a really bad hat here. I look like an idiot if I do that. Um, but Robertson was my man of the match.
Yeah. He was great. I mean, he set up the first goal. I just think his patience to wait for Gakpo to see that run behind, that was great. And then I think he just, he had Anthony in his pocket all night. It was a shambolic performance from the Brazilian. And Robertson had a great game.
I thought he was great. Yeah,
Liverpool play better when their wingbacks play good.
yeah, and your forwards are going to steal the show in
Yeah.
a game like that. Of course, you scored 7 goals. But I was so impressed with Robertson, especially in the first half. Um, you hate to play against a player like that, and you love to have a player like that in your team. You know, launching himself into tackles, unbelievably tenacious in the press. Really, really, really good for the entire 90. I was super impressed with Andrew Robertson all night, and that's another player that I'm a bona fide hater of. But
Yeah.
game respect game. He was really good.
For sure. And I do want to kind of go back and just touch on some key points of that game real quick. The second goal goes in, you're feeling pretty good. 2-0 lead in soccer, especially with this Liverpool team, doesn't mean much. But when we scored the third, the way Salah dropped Lisandro Martinez on the ground, and he has had a good season. I'll give him credit. I gave him a little banter at the beginning of the year.
Oh, we all did.
Yeah, and deservedly so. I mean, we can be skeptical. He's had a good season, but to get done up by like that by your biggest rival, and to get bullied by Mohamed Salah like that, not just played off the ball. After he hit Salah in the face in the first half, he got bullied by Mo. That third goal was embarrassing, and after that, I thought the game was done. And then United just seemed to capitulate and get even worse. I mean, the goals, there was just more mistakes in the build up to each of them.
Yeah,
Some of them were so preventable.
they fell apart, man. They fell apart. They looked horrible.
Yeah. And Salah gets his big goal too. He
Yep.
goes over Robbie Fowler for Liverpool's highest score in the Premier League. That stat's a bit skewed because Ian Rush, I think, had like over 300 when it was still the first division. But yeah, what a moment for Mo Salah. I think he's had a very good kind of back half to this year. Everyone's saying it's kind of his washed season. I have a hard time seeing that. His stats are just as good, if not better, than Rashford's at the moment, who's the most informed player in the world, apparently. And Darwin, again, you mentioned it, Pat, but I think he's really... I think he's going to score loads of goals in this Liverpool team. 2 beautiful headers on the night.
I would agree. I think he was really good. The one other player I do want to talk about in a negative light is Bruno Fernandes. Man.
Little rat.
Yeah, he is a rat. To have your captain behaving the way that he behaved for 90 minutes, there are loads of other guys in that side, I think, are more deserving of a captain's armband than Bruno Fernandes. And I think that overall, he's a great player, but I think his behavior is just it's like borderline like disgraceful. Like you laugh at some of the shit that Bruno does, asking to be subbed off, grabbing his face when he gets like pushed in the chest.
Yeah.
Like some of the shit that he does is just like it's what gave Salah that reputation those past couple years for like all the dives and stuff like that. Like Bruno does the same shit. And he's just I can't stand him. He's got the most punchable face in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. Did you catch that one at the end? Trent gives him a slide tackle in the corner, and Bruno gets the ball, and he shoved the ref.
Yeah, I did see that too. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's nuts. Man United. I hate Man United fans. I hate the pundits. First of all, giving this more credit for Man United being bad than Liverpool being good. I think Liverpool just were absolutely boss on the night. But at the same time, I don't understand Man United fans not taking the L for this and saying I've heard people say it's better to get beat 3-0 than 7-0. We're taking this like a trophy celebration. We just beat you 7-0. I mean, it was your biggest defeat in 92 years. Man United fans need to sit down, be humble, take the L, because you're not winning the title this year. You're the only trophy you're winning is the Carabao Cup, and just take it. That's my message to United fans. So,
last thing on this point, or last thing on this game, and then we'll kind of move on to finishing out the remainder of the Prem, and then talk about some other stuff here. Top four on. Yeah. Within 3 points of Tottenham, game in hand. I think you guys can do it.
I've been, to be fair, I think there was maybe one episode where I was kind of doubting it. I've been pretty positive on us getting back to top four. I never thought the point difference was that insurmountable. Now we're 3 points off it with the game in hand. Tottenham just got knocked out of the Champions League tonight. They didn't look good. Newcastle are have been shaky in the past couple of weeks. We're bringing Thiago and Diaz back in a couple of weeks too. I mean, you have to think we're gonna give it a run in.
Yeah, no, completely agree. You froze there for a second on my screen, so I'm assuming you're good. That just technical difficulties
yeah.
here. We were chilling here. That's why I might have looked so shocked for a little bit there. Yeah, no. All in all, I had a great time watching that game. I think Liverpool can definitely sneak into the top four, and let's move on.
Wasn't the only good Premier League result though. I mean, you played Newcastle early in the morning on Saturday and came out with a 2-0.
It's a comprehensive 2-0. We looked great. We looked good. It's a tough place to go or a tough team to play. Not place to go. It was at the Etihad, but tough team to play. Solid 2-0 result. Grafted it out. Can't complain. Honestly, great finish by Bernardo. Phil Foden looked like the player that I know that Phil Foden is. The player that is better than Saka, despite what Arsenal fans want to say. Foden is a better player than Saka. Just please pipe down with that. Foden has more GA and Champions League knockout games than Saka has Champions League appearances. Just stop. Just we're not entertaining that here. Foden is better than Saka. One good season doesn't change that. Foden is finding his feet, and he looked great. I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's in good form. I hope he can carry it out the rest of the season. And then on the other side of this title race here, Arsenal just wouldn't lose. They just wouldn't drop points for me. I just couldn't have a good weekend. But what a goal! What a goal by Reece Nelson! What a comeback from Arsenal too. To come back from 2-0 down to win it 3-2 at the death. They're playing like champions, man. That's a game that you look back at and you're like, that won them the title. It's similar to like the company strike versus Leicester in 18-19. It's similar to the title you guys won. I can't really compare it to anything you guys did. It wasn't close. You won it by a bunch. They looked really good, and I just think that they're gonna edge it. The only hope that I have as a City fan right now is Arsenal still have to go to Anfield.
They have to go to a few different places, right?
Anfield they have to go to the Etihad too, but I think we beat them again when they come to the Etihad. But they still have to go to Anfield, and that's where my hope is. I'm hoping you guys can just turn up for me.
I mean, I think we should have beat them at the Emirates, so I have confidence in that.
We'll see. And then, but credit where it's due.
Yeah,
credit where it's due.
Sure.
Very, very good mental performance from Arsenal. Man of the match performance from Zinchenko. Oh my God, what a player! I miss him so much. Yeah, there's just unbelievable all around him. They played like champions. They played like a team that believes they can win the title now. That was a performance from a team that knows that they have it all in their hands and they know that they can do it. And
sure,
I don't like that they won as a City fan, as a rival fan of them, but I have to tip my cap to the performance, and they were very, very good. To come back from 2-0 down, and just credit to the performance, credit to the team as a whole. Arteta's tactics a little. They conceded 2 against one of the worst teams in the league at home. But all's well that ends well.
Yep. The bottom of the table, too, there were some interest. Everton and Leeds both dropping points. Everton's was a little bit bigger, where their game was against Forest. And I believe they had the lead in that one. So, not good results for those
twice.
two.
They had 1-0 lead. Yeah. Everton had a 1-0 lead, got pegged back to 1-1, went up 2-1, and then they got pegged back to 2-2. I got to pull my phone up to remember this kid's name. I watched the game, and I forgot his name, but he scored both of the Nottingham Forest goals.
Brennan Johnson.
I thought he was really good on the night.
He was pretty good.
He had a really good game.
Yeah, he's solid, but again, Everton and Leeds are two teams we've kind of talked about almost every week in this podcast, and in the terms of relegation tracking. So we'll continue to follow them, but they're definitely hanging around that relegation zone along with some other big teams. So
yeah, they're right there. They're right on the cusp.
Yeah, and Southampton got a big win against Leicester at the weekend, too, so they might be making a charge up. West Ham might be coming down, too. The relegation race this year is extremely tight.
I need it to stay. I don't remember who my third team I had going down was in our season preview, but I need the bottom two to stay because I had Southampton and Bournemouth getting relegated.
I think I had Bournemouth, Fulham, and somebody else. I don't remember who, maybe Leeds.
I think I might have gone bold for one of my picks. I might have had like Wolves or someone getting relegated.
Yeah, you might have.
I don't know. I don't remember. We'll go. We'll check the tapes and we'll go back to it. No, I had Brentford and they're in fucking 9.
Yeah, Brentford's cruising.
That's right. I had Brentford getting relegated. I'm shocked there.
Cruising. Let's switch gears here. Talk about European football real quick. I don't think me and Pat watched these games too extensively. I had them on a couple in the background here. Just going over some of these results and kind of what they mean for Champions League. First one, Chelsea coming back, erasing that 1-0 deficit to Dortmund and coming back and winning 2-1 on aggregate at Stamford Bridge last night.
Yeah, I watched this one. I was hoping to watch it so I could banter our friend Sebastian because Chelsea got knocked out of the Champions League, and instead Chelsea produced their best performance under Graham Potter that I've seen them do. Reece James, phenomenal on the night. Koulibaly looked solid. Midfield looked good. Havertz looked great. Raheem Sterling was threatening all night down the wing for Chelsea. I thought Chilwell looked good too. I just thought overall, you could say Dortmund were a little unlucky with the penalty retake. I think Bellingham's comments about you're always going to have players within 1 or 2 yards of encroachment is right. A little salty, but right. Overall, I do think Dortmund were a little unlucky, but I think Chelsea were way better on the night in the second leg, and in my opinion, did deserve to go through. I'm going to be pissed when this Chelsea team does a 2012 and finishes in like fucking 9th, but wins the Champions League. I'm gonna be so fucking mad when it happens.
I saw a tweet from Anthony Dabundo over at the Action Network, and he had said something like, they need to change the encroachment rules if players are going to take 10 seconds in their penalty run up. And I kind of agree. They're going to do a tricky run up. It is kind of tough not to encroach when you're trying to get momentum and cross the line. I do think Chelsea would have probably won too, but it does suck to not see that game maybe go to extra time or see a little bit more of it. The other game last night, Benfica, Club Brugge. Benfica just cruised in this one. I think they won 5-1 last night, 7-1 on aggregate, and now Scott Parker sacked again 2 times in 1 year.
That's so brutal, man. Player I want to talk about on this Benfica team is that Goncalo Ramos. I think I'm saying his first name wrong. But I could see him moving for big money this summer. 2 goals in this game. Just really, really good player. A lot of teams in Europe, a lot of top teams in Europe need strikers. They need a prolific forward, and Benfica continue to pump out talent, and this is just another guy that I could probably see moving for big money this summer or maybe next. But I was talking to a friend about it, talking to Roman about it. I could see him at United this summer. In all honesty, they need an out and out forward, and he ticks a lot of the boxes for guys they're looking for. So
Sure.
I could see him there.
Yeah, it's a hot market too, and I think Benfica have the model right. Dortmund it tends to wait things out and build a price. I think these Benfica players they're so hot that Benfica just sells them for as much as they can get, basically, without anyone seeing too much of them. It's almost like the Darwin Nunez effect of like we got him, and everyone was like, oh, he's so shit. Like, how did people not see? I think Benfica's just selling these guys early because they're like, is this guy really $100 million player? We'll give him to you, and they have $300 million from signing 3 players and can sign 30.
Yeah, exactly. They're just rapid firing the young talent. They're not necessarily caring what sticks and what doesn't. It's the fact that these big teams will pay for them.
Exactly. And some of them will turn out to not be $100 million players, and they'll make out like bandits.
That is true.
Um,
Um,
yeah, today
Today's
Bayern
game,
PSG.
yeah, I totally forgot the Champions League was on today, so I did not watch a single one of these games. I'm going to be totally honest. Just straight up forgot that there was anything on today.
I did have Bayern PSG on, and this one was a bit dull just because PSG just didn't turn up for it. It felt like PSG had their chances. Messi had one right near the goal. Ramos had a header, clear header, and Vitinha had a shot on goal that De Ligt kept out right on the line. But PSG, their midfield just didn't get out of first gear. Bayern just kind of ran the show. They could have had a couple more, had a couple goals disallowed. So I think Bayern won this one decisively. I think this is the end of the Mbappe era in PSG. And I think Bayern go on as one of the favorites in this competition.
I think they're winning it.
Yeah. They're going to be close. They're going to be right there, I think.
Then the other game, the only thing we have to say is it's been 15 years since Tottenham have won a trophy, and long may it continue. They lost 1-0 to Milan. They're out. It's over. It's done and dusted. 1-0 on aggregate, right? There was tonight was a 0-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. It's done with. Harry Kane is going to be a player who scored a trillion goals for Tottenham and needs a caption under his name on Sky Sports for everybody to know who the fuck he is because he never won anything in his career.
Exactly. We're going to move further down in the notes now. Maybe come back and look at some things to look at next week. But we're first going to talk about some out of bounds things, just real quickers before we wrap up the episode. First one, we're actually going back to Liverpool Man United because this was a funny topic. Wout Weghorst touching the sign, the "This is Anfield" sign before the game. Did you get a look at that, Pat?
That was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
And the public apology he issued after too was saying he was trying to reach Van Dijk's hand and take his hand away from touching it as like a prank because they're obviously countrymen together. It was like the worst excuse ever.
I think he just wasn't. I don't think it was something like him being like, oh, I'm going to touch the Anfield sign. I just don't think he was really thinking about it. I think he saw all the Liverpool fans do it and he was walking out and he was just like, dude.
Yeah, the lack of self-awareness is tough.
Yeah. I just don't think he was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't touch the Anfield sign playing for Man United. And then they got piped. So it was even funnier.
Yeah.
Then
it becomes an issue. My other topic, this is one that's been trending. The past couple days I've saw
this is funny.
Yeah, I've saw a few news stories about this girl. I don't know if you saw anything about it, Pat. Her name is.
I just know. I've only seen the stuff with Alvarez.
Yeah, yeah. Her name is Sarah. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Duque, I'm assuming. She's a language translator, and she's making some news as she's basically kind of like hot in the streets, if we're gonna cut this down to layman's terms. You know, the Premier League guys seem to be after her a little bit. She's doing language translation, and it's making a lot of the wags mad. It seems like. I know she works with Arthur and Julian Alvarez of your team, Pat.
I mean, I think it's funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
Genuinely hilarious that. Yeah, that his English teacher is this girl. Well, like Josh said, for lack of better terms, she's a very good-looking girl, and is the English teacher for some young Premier League stars. And there have been like videos of her working with Alvarez, and Twitter has its jokes, obviously, and they make me laugh. And then De Bruyne saying that Alvarez's English really isn't that bad, and
That's the best part.
that he
That's the best
adapted
part.
really well after his move to England is it's kind of like icing on the cake for me. I think that shit's funny. It's I don't know, it just gets a good laugh out of me.
Yeah. And shout out to this girl too. She's probably like, I think she's a phenomenal language translator. Actually, speaks like 7 different languages, I think. And she's like one of the more famous ones that works with athletes. So she's amazing at her job too, probably. And she's probably just caught up in this rumor mill of what are English wags. But it is a funny story nonetheless. One to laugh at. This weekend, not too much going on. No big games in England, really. We play Bournemouth. I think you got Palace, Pat. I don't know if that's at home.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you have Palace. Yes. I just don't know if it's home or away.
We're at Palace. We're at Selhurst.
Okay. That's a tough place to go. Was that your bogey team away from home?
Oh, yeah. We love to lose to Palace. We love to lose to Palace.
Maybe a tough weekend for Pat. Fulham have Arsenal, though. That's one I kind of have circled on my calendar. I don't know how many Premier League games I'm going to get to watch this weekend. I'm going to Boston to watch the Bruins.
I'm going to Boston tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Look at us. Travelers. And then the Champions League, the second round of matches obviously wraps up next week. Liverpool, Madrid, City, Leipzig, Inter, Porto, and not sure what the fourth one is, to be honest. I got all the English teams.
Hold on. Fuck.
Juventus.
Hold on.
No,
I'm just going to do the thing we're supposed to. Not a logistics company, folks.
Bayern, Dortmund, Leverkusen.
Napoli, Frankfurt.
Oh, yeah, Napoli's going to do them in.
Yep.
Well, more UCL coverage, I think, next week. Just a quick 30-minute ep here with me and Pat. You have anything else, Pat?
Nah, I've got nothing, man. We're
cruising along. We're getting towards the end of the season here. So, Zoo is back open. If you're in the Portland area, hit up them. Get a couple beers. I think we'll be there as it warms up. I think we'll make a few group appearances probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll be there, and we'll be at
Dock 4.
I was not the what?
Dock 4.
Yeah. To hang out with our friends, the main Gooners.
Sure.
I missed them on the pod app last week, but my turn to shout them out. Thanks for coming on last week, guys. Thanks for being gracious guests for Josh and Mitch.
Yes, sir. I think that's the episode 29. Like, share, subscribe to the thing. You know what to do.
Yeah, Mainstand signing off.
Deuces.
Peace.